Hello and welcome back. I am Dominique.
And I'm Jen.
And this is Look Up.
Dummy fuck.
Okay, Jen. Wow. We think it's going to stop or it's going to pause, but it does not. Right?
I mean, the guy, to me, it's like super crazy that he had this much time, like to run out onto the White House lawn with like that big board, right? Do you remember that?
Ridiculous.
That big board
Yes.
with all the different like tariff situations on it or whatever. So I don't even know, like, do you understand what the first tariff number means from that country and then our new tariff? Do you have any idea what that means?
Oh, I don't think he does either.
No, but I had somebody explain it online.
No, I don't.
I did.
Okay.
So
tell me.
Basically, the first number from that country is actually a tariff deficit. So with like China, when it said 60 something percent or whatever, it's mainly because obviously we're a huge market. We have 330 million people in the United States of America, right? Of course.
Very big.
So we import a lot from China. And actually, when you think about it, they import less from us. So that isn't like they don't import and we get a 67% tariff or whatever it said. Okay. That's the deficit amount. So he's trying to make it look to you like China charges us 67%, but shockingly, not true.
Well, but what about the penguins? Because like he wants also to apply tariffs on countries where no people or very little people, a number of people who don't really do business with us in the US, like literally the penguins. So like, do they really know what they're doing?
No, dude, no. I mean, they literally impose tariffs on every country in the world except for Russia, Belarus, which we did still import like billions of dollars worth of goods from Russia last year. Absolutely. Look it up, people. And of course, North Korea, our besties there in North Korea.
Well, I don't think we import a lot from
North
Korea. We import
0 from North Korea and 0 from Cuba. So those were the 4 countries that didn't get tariffs. Shocking.
But Russia and Belarus, like seriously, guys, like, I mean, don't we have sanction against them? And it's interesting because Russia and North Korea are the people we're now voting with at the United Nations.
But I don't understand, like, wouldn't you just impose the 10% on Russia and Belarus just to not look like a Nazi?
Of course I would. Well, yeah.
I mean, and to me, too, it's amazing that he has this much time to do all of these things when literally he's been playing golf for like 4 days in like a golf tournament. Yes. You know that.
Yeah.
As the stock market is crashing, and as many of us in the US, except for it's actually less than I thought. So do you know that only 5% of Americans own stocks?
Only 5%? But what about all those 401k?
Okay, 401k, yes, but I think in terms of like people who actually own stocks is a very small percentage.
Okay.
So I heard a lot of people overseas actually own more stocks than anything, which was interesting news for me to learn. But no, as the stock market is crashing and as he's starting a trade war, he's like, babes, I'm going to golf today.
Oh, what a big news. I mean, that's what he did in his first term. I mean, I was surprised that's the way he's managing, like not doing anything. And come on. The thing is, I mean, to me is everybody knows tariffs don't work. Like it's well known. And I think you shared a video or someone shared with me a video of Ronald Reagan back in the day saying, guys, we don't do tariffs because we all know they create recession in the countries that impose them. They create global recession in the world. They just don't work. It's an economic tool that just doesn't work. So it's pure politics.
And it's interesting too, like he's trying to sell it as that, okay, we're going to bring all these manufacturing jobs back to the US. Okay.
Untrue.
Well, here's what, like, just think about all the things that we import from, I think the three biggest countries are like China, Vietnam, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So shoes, clothing, you know, all this junk
iPhones.
you buy off and cheap
iPhones.
stuff. So you think we're going to open all these plants, and not only are we going to start making all of these things ourselves,
of course not.
we're going to make them as cheap as we're buying them on Amazon. And then we're going to have to manufacture all the stuff that makes the item. So the leather and the shoelaces and the buttons so importing anything that is a part of this item.
Exactly.
We got to manufacture this too. So like, why did we like deport all these immigrants?
So we deported all those immigrants that we have no workforce for agriculture and factories, and we want to rebuild those factories, but then we're not going to have any workforce. Doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Now, the car industry is a good example because, okay, he wants us to buy American cars, but a lot of parts in those American cars are not Americans.
No, but
right?
I've even heard that like American cars are assembled in Mexico. So, I mean, I don't completely understand.
Of them.
I mean,
or in Canada.
So like it's kind of like a really nice shoe. Sometimes they'll assemble it like in Portugal, and then they do the last piece in Italy, and then they can stamp the made in Italy. That's the same thing that's happening with cars, right?
No, and totally actually, so it's totally different. And actually, for a while ago now, you go in a car dealership and you look at a sticker, and you will see how much of the car is made in the US, how much of the car...
Oh, it like tells you?
Yes, it tells you on the sticker. You don't own a car anymore.
No, but I used to buy American cars, but I don't think I looked at the sticker.
Yeah, well, so yes, so on the sticker, you can see the percentage of the car that is not made in the US. And in any American car, you will see, 20% of the car is made in Mexico, or all that is going to be taxed. They're saying that the average cost of car is going to go up $5,000. And the average price of a car is $45,000. It's going to go up 5,000. People are going to stop buying cars. That's it. I mean, you know.
So obviously what he's doing makes 0 sense.
0 cents.
0 cents. Tanking the stock market makes 0 sense, except for, what I am hearing is their plan is they kind of want the bottom to drop out, right? Like to create an autocratic society. If you look, I think Viktor Orban did a really good job of it in Hungary, right?
Yeah, good job.
So there's like rich people and there's poor people, and those kind of people feel like the middle class is like a failed experiment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. So it's going to happen. I mean,
that's what I think he's trying to do, but okay, let's take an analogy.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so you remember when I worked at Zappos?
Yes.
And Tony implemented, what was that?
So Tony Hsieh, the founder of Zappos,
implemented Holacracy, right? Yes.
And you have to explain what is Holacracy, because I'm not sure people
Okay, so you should look it up. It's super crazy. Like no one does it. But supposedly there are no managers and no like
organization,
people running the company. Like everyone's kind of self-ruling. Okay. So you get rid of like management and leadership and whatever. And Holacracy, I've heard, actually works on companies that are under like 60 people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Small businesses.
Like totally works. But Tony was trying to implement this into a company that had thousands of people, and it clearly failed.
Yes.
So what I'm questioning, and you tell me your opinion on this, but Hungary, how many people do we think live in Hungary? Like not that many.
Yeah, maybe 5 million people.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll check the number. Watch for it.
Okay. And so, you can create this autocratic society, right? And kind of bottom out. And if you read it, it's one of the poorest economically now in Europe.
Right.
It worked. But can you successfully pull the shit off when there's 330 million people in a country?
It's going to be tough. It's yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's we already see people. I mean, that was one of the great news of the week, I would say, is we already start to see people protesting, like
hands off.
And that's why we are talking about this episode, hands off. So we talked about you in the previous episode on town hall, and town hall being huge.
Okay.
Yes, so that was the beginning of a thing, and we were like, oh, okay, town hall, that's the start. People are going to them, like a lot of people are going to them to listen and talk to their representative. But now they're going on the street. Like,
and I heard
thousands of people.
I heard there were 500,000 people across the 50 states, which is still, in my opinion, quite small, but like, cheers to you bitches who got out there and actually protested. I'm super happy.
Proud of you.
Thank you so much. And it was like, it like warmed my heart when I saw the pictures coming out of Boston. So Boston, Mass, like totally sexy.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
Boston was cool. Washington was cool too. I saw a picture of Washington, D.C.
Oh my God, it was
amazing.
Was
cool.
I loved it.
But most of the big city in the 50 state, what's cool, it's like, it was not just something in like a few states and stuff, like it was everywhere.
Southern cities like North Carolina, Atlanta, these places. And you know what I thought was interesting about this really is totally peaceful.
Right.
Okay, so nothing like January 6th, just saying.
Yeah.
But also what I thought was cool was it was all these people getting together and protesting against this government and this administration, and they all had a different message.
I love that too.
You know, like,
you're right.
I'm angry about USAID. You're angry about trans rights.
People are angry about their retirement.
This person hates Elon Musk. Like, but everyone got together with a different message.
Right.
And peacefully protested.
Right. So, I mean, that was really cool. And I think that's the beginning of a movement. One of the things that is going to be tough for him is the stock market going down. A lot of people who are retired are going to see the value of their 401k go down. And traditionally, those older crowd are more voting for Trump. I think we see some Republicans starting to really freak out.
Really?
Yes.
I mean,
there's a few there's a few things that have been not passed.
Who? Oh, my favorite one. What's that douchebag?
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of them, but
Rand Paul. Rand Paul hates me, you guys. Just so you know.
I'm sure he does.
Rand Paul hates me.
Well, he's not a big fan of Trump now.
But I think Rand Paul is actually voting against some of this stuff. So bravo, Rand Paul, you did something that I agree with finally. But who else are you reading?
I don't know. I don't know their name right now, but there's quite a few, and we'll put them on the comment and thing.
But there's still so many Delulu Republicans. Look, come on. Okay. We were just talking before we started, and we have to tell you this.
Oh, yeah.
So I have an ex-boyfriend from a million years ago. His name is Thor. And his parents are serious, like in the cult of Trump. And I posted, the video of the protests in Boston. And they literally texted me and said, oh my God, like, these paid protesters are so funny. Like, can you imagine what they're getting paid? They don't even know what they're protesting against. That's literally what the Republicans think is happening right now.
Like,
look,
it's this entire Russian playbook that we mentioned over and over against fake news, a bit propaganda. It works. That's the Republican. I mean, the Trumpists are using exactly that Russian
But that
playbook.
is like just crazy,
And
man.
so people believe in that shit.
I mean, I couldn't even believe her message. It was real cray. And even some of my friends who were starting to like get the message, because like you said, they're pissed off about their stocks or their 401k or whatever, they still are writing me and saying, oh, but it would be worse under Kamala.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
so we're not there yet. So people, we've got to get out there still. Yeah. I mean, there needs to be millions of people on the streets. I mean, 500,000 was good.
Yes. Yes.
But we need millions. Yeah, we need millions because it's not enough. Like,
no, it's not. But it will, I mean, look, it will happen. And once again, I feel like, as there's two things. Either there's more people, and as we go closer to the midterms, like he sees his number going down and it's like everybody start to panic and maybe things might change. Or I don't know, it really becomes quickly a dictatorship and maybe it goes way faster than we think.
The Wisconsin judge won.
Okay, let's talk about this one. This one is a really...
We talked about this last week or a couple weeks ago on our episode about the Wisconsin judge. Thankfully, yay, Wisconsin, we love you our whole lives.
Yes, we do.
Even Florida, like the numbers were... but it was... They used to win by like 35% and they only won by like 14%.
Yeah.
So good. Pretty big thing there, I think, too.
But I think the Wisconsin was a really big thing because Elon Musk was very personally involved.
How much money did he put into that shit?
I think he put $25 million of his own money. And this election, I mean, they raised, which is very unique for a judge, more than 100 million.
Oh yeah, they've never spent this much money.
No,
I mean,
it's disgusting.
And that's the thing. We've got to start thinking, this amount of money that's been poured into these elections is totally sick.
Yes.
I mean, they need to do something like for every dollar you spend, $1 has to go to charity in the US or something. Can we do something like this?
Or it needs to be capped. It used to be capped and it needs to be capped. Yes, it was capped. And I think in the 50s or 60s, they changed the law and they put an unlimited funding. In France and in many European countries, it's capped.
Can we talk about Marie Le Pen for a hot minute?
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
Okay, so all of my French friends were posting saying, America, this is how it's done. So for those of you who don't know, Marie Le Pen is that like crazy right-wing lunatic from France. Right? And they caught her like embezzling money or some shit?
So, well, yeah. So she's a European representative and her and her party had access to assistants to help them for their work as European deputy. They took those assistants, moved them to Paris. Most of them have never been to Brussels, never worked for her. And they used the European money to pay her staff in France to do whatever, who knows what. So for example, a bodyguard became an European assistant. I mean, the guy is muscle, like he's a bodyguard. He's never been to Brussels, cost of the bill, 4 million euros over the years. And so they got caught. And it's like, it's corruption.
So she can't run in 2020, whatever. Seven. So, Vive la France. Yes. I'm so happy. Bravo, Z's.
Yeah. And guess what? Who said that it was horrible? And it was Donald Trump tweeted. Elon Musk tweeted that France was a dictatorship already. G.D. Vance tweeted. They all did. Viktor Orban tweeted. Vladimir Putin says something. Yes.
All those
everything has become clear. There's all those people are all together the same thing. They all are fascists. They all want the same thing. And they are all in the same boat.
And talking about corruption.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just mention this. We don't totally know if it's true, but we are reading it on Axios, right?
Yes.
We are reading. Okay, now explain what it is Trump did with his
Truth Social Network.
You mean lying social network? Okay,
yeah,
go.
Yeah, lying social.
What did he do exactly?
/ Truth Social.
Yeah.
Oh well, he sold for 2.5 billion.
I don't know if he sold or if he just said that, like, he put through a thing that said that he could sell 23 billion in stock or
2.5 billion, I think. The equivalent of 2.5 billion of stock right before he announced the tariffs.
On the 2nd of April.
Yeah, right before he announced the tariffs. So kind of he knew that the stock market was going to fall down, and maybe he sold that. And also his family sold.
And I think we call this insider trading.
I think we do, right?
Just throwing it out there as an option.
Well, I don't think when you're the president of the United States, you should be able to buy and sell stocks because you know everything.
Well, it's crazy that he can even run a social media platform. That in and of itself should be a conflict of interest.
He's not supposed to lead and run any business. So there is supposed to be a Chinese wall between what he does and his businesses. That was a big deal during the first term. I've never heard anything during the second term of how this is designed. Can he make business decisions still? He shouldn't be able to, because that's clearly a conflict of interest. But actually, nobody talks about it.
It's so insane. It's really crazy. And talking about business, this is another little piece of information that I heard. So those of you who love TikTok, which I am not on TikTok, just so you know, there was a TikTok deal that the Chinese government had actually approved. So I think it was some
I heard about that.
Some VCs and some private equity guys, and Oracle was going to buy TikTok. And after Trump imposed the tariffs, China was like, not happening with the TikTok sale. Shocking. And what's crazy is, again, I heard he pushed out like 90 more days of trying to find a new buyer or whatever.
He did that.
Which is super crazy because I'm like, wait a second, you guys were against TikTok. Weren't they the ones who wanted this ban in the first place even more than Democrats or something?
Well, yeah, because they think all the data goes to China, which is highly possible.
I mean, I don't get it.
So, yeah, well, yeah. The other thing.
So he killed that deal.
He killed that deal for now.
But there's trillions of gazillions of people coming to do business in America now.
Not really. Watch it. I mean, look, what's going to happen is America is becoming an unsafe place to do business. So investment is going to go down. I mean, look, I'm an economist. It's economy from not even first year in university, right? It's like
basic economy for dummies.
Yeah, basic economy for dummies. Dummies 101 economy. You don't do tariffs because they don't work. Trade war is a lose-lose game. Everybody loses. But usually the one who started is the one who has the most to lose. Us European, guess what? We're going to do less business with the US, and we're going to start doing business with China, which is probably becoming more and more friendly all of a sudden. What do you think?
Well, and then I have heard too, because I've read some people from the right have been saying like, oh my God, well, Biden didn't even take off the tariffs that Trump put on in his first term. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, but I have heard that it is more difficult to take tariffs off than to put them on.
Well, yeah,
it's like impossible to take them off. Once you've added them on, it's like an anniversary sale, like you made the money this year, you got an anniversary next year.
No, but the thing is okay, but the level we see is so high that it cannot last. It cannot last. It's going to create inflation all over the place. It's like, no, I mean, no, he has to either like not do it because he might change his mind because, with this lunatic, like one day it's something and the other day it's another thing. So we don't know.
Well, and a lot of leaders around the world are actually,
oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you read like what the the president of Mexico said she was a badass bitch.
I like her.
I mean,
She's
she
cool.
said some amazing things to Trump, like, here's what, guys, like, build the wall because we can do business with other people, right?
And honestly, I hope Europe is going to do more business with Mexico. I think we have plenty of business to do with Mexico.
And then Belgium, I guess, Nazi Barbie, what's her name? Caroline Levitt came out and was like, oh yeah, Belgium, like you would be speaking German or whatever if it wasn't for us. And like, they came back with like, bitch, we already speak German here. Okay.
Yeah, they do already speak
And
German.
I love this new name. We have a great name for Caroline Levitt now.
Okay.
Nazi Barbie. Thanks to Belgium.
Yeah.
We're going to use that. That's what we'll call her from here on out.
That's who you are, Nazi Barbie. Yeah. Okay. And last thing, we're starting to hear rumor that Elon Musk might leave soon. Office.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing this too.
Yes, because he's starting to lose way too much money. And even Trump said, oh, he's doing a great job, but he has to run his business still. Musk, maybe not for very long.
I'm not holding my breath for that one, because that's like a bro fest.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that might be like a bro fest that couldn't be broken or whatever.
I would like to finish on this note because I read a really interesting article in French, unfortunately, this week, saying that in the world history, we don't have any woman dictator. Only male. What do you think about this, Jen?
I mean, what do you call
Italy? Yeah, she's not. Come on. Okay. Georgia
Meloni. It's a little bit.
No, she's not. She's okay.
So what would you call that? That's just.
I would call her a right-wing fascist pragmatic.
Fascist
pragmatic. She's pragmatic.
Okay.
As well. Like she's not like ruining Europe. Like she's not taking the country out of the Eurozone as she's playing the game of Europe. She's pro-Ukrainian, kind of.
Can I ask you another question then? Just because you're on this, Margaret Thatcher. What would you call her? What was she?
Not
dictator, but she was something pretty hardcore too.
She was hardcore right wing. It's different.
Okay.
She was not a dictator.
Okay.
She was not. And I don't think Giorgia Meloni is.
Right.
But
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but no.
Marie Le Pen?
Oh, she's a fucking fascist, but she's not elected. And I hope she will never be. No. Marine Le Pen.
Just always trying to challenge,
Okay. Well, okay.
Okay. Well, here's hoping one day, but I don't think we're going to, like I've told you from episode 1, sadly, I do not see us having a woman president in the U.S. in my lifetime, sadly. Wow. We need a new white male in 2020, whatever.
Yeah.
I know. It's so sad.
Yeah. 2026? No. No. No, 28. 28. Oh, 2028. Oh my God. 2028.
I mean, just remember, people, it has not even been 100 days that he has been president.
Can you believe that?
It's just unbelievable.
Anxiety every morning when you wake up, you look at your phone and you say, what happened in the US while I was asleep here in Europe? And I'm like, something else. Crazy.
Well, be careful out there. Please get out and protest.
We love the hands off motto. So hands off, like, okay, don't.
Yeah, keep the hands off going.
Keep the hands up going. And like us, comment, share your feedback.
Look up.
Dummy fuck.